اللهم صل على
As always, I request to all to recite Surah Fatiha for all our moving and those who sponsors and participate, for your moving and for those who are shaheed in Palestine, in Iran, and around the world. Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق والصلاة والسلام على رسول الثقلين محبوب رب المشرقين والمغربين وجد الحسن والحسين مولانا بالقاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى أهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين أما بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وثواب ما يوحى إليك من ربك إن الله كان بما تعملون خبيرا وتوكل على الله وكفى بالله وكيلا صدق الله العلي العظيم صلى على محمد وآل محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
We have now entered the fourth day of Muharram. Alhamdulillah, all of you have been with me on this journey to learn about tawakkul, to understand tawakkul and understand how to obtain tawakkul. Tonight, what we are going to do is we are going to conclude this topic and we are going to understand and leave a final message on what tawakkul is and how we can use it in this last day. And inshallah, with your permission, because tomorrow we will begin the Shahadat night, we will talk about the personalities of Karbala, and we will talk about more about the Muslim, inshallah. Salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Through these nights, we've been using this ayat from Surah Al-Azab, verses number 2 and 3. وَتَوَابِ مَا يُوحَى إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ خَبِيرًا. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and follow what is revealed to you from your Lord. Surely Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware of what you do. What is Allah telling us in this verse? He is saying, I have given you the Quran, I have revealed to you the Ahlul Bayt alayhi wassalatu wassalam. So follow in these steps, follow in the traditions which are written in these books, and make sure that you hold on to them throughout your life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whenever He talks in the Quran, it's coming directly from Him. When we see people questioning our faith, when they say, no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we've got the Quran and the Sunnah. Now, okay, we can talk about people going against our books. They don't believe in that, but they can't go against what Allah is saying in the Quran. Surah Al-Azab. It's not from anything different. The Quran is not different to anything. He goes on to say, وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ خَفِيلًا, and rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Indeed, Allah is sufficient and is a protector. So the first thing He's saying is, hold on to what I've revealed to you, and then entrust me that I am sufficient enough for you, and that I will protect you no matter where you are in this life. And I will protect you in whatever you go through. The main points I want to discuss, especially today, because it is the day of Shabayyumah, Thursday, the day of Dua, the day where we can sit and talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the best time to ask Him for things. What is the dua that we recite on this day? Anyone? On Thursday, what is recommended to recite? From the kids. Bismillah. Dua Kumal. Dua Kumal, Hadith Mashallah. So whenever we're looking into Dua Kumal especially, and when you have that i'tiraj, people saying you're asking some of the Ahlul Bayt only, you're using Imam Hussain only. Dua Kumal, if you look at the words of Dua Kumal, look how we're speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
It says, and I will call to you Allah, where you are our sponsor of the believer. You are the goal of our hopes. Allah, you are our aid when we need assistance. Allah, you are a friend of our heart when we need to be sincere, when we need to talk to someone. Allah, you are indeed the master of this world and everything within it. When we're having this dua, when we're reciting it in the centers or we're reciting it in our homes, realize that we're not only talking to Allah, but we're telling Him, Allah, we understand you, we believe you, and we notice your characteristics. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this world, He doesn't ask for much from us. But He does ask this, acknowledge me, and I will acknowledge you. Hold on to me, talk to me, and I will look after you. So it's really important that whenever we're coming to recite these du'as, we're talking about hadith qisar as well. Don't only just read it for the sake of Arabic, for the sake of the program. We have, I think, a few centers, and I can mention the Baitul Ganj Center in Bradford. I saw the initiative there when they're doing Dua Kumal, but then the Muharram also does the translation of it. So that's a very good sort of initiative to help introduce this to your children. Introduce this even to myself. I'm not strong in Arabic as much. So when we understand these words and what we're actually saying to Allah, it closes that gap between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and us. Whenever we're reading namaz, for example, people always ask the question of how can I sort of keep my focus in namaz? How can I keep my focus into what I'm saying? The best thing I would say is first understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Once you understand what you're saying in namaz, what is the meaning of al-Fatiha, what is the meaning of your qunut, sajda, what are you actually saying? Then it becomes easier. And you allow yourself to be in that situation, be in that phase where you don't focus on anything else. You know exactly, I'm talking to Allah, this is my time with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm doing my part, I'm acknowledging Him. It's not hard. You know how sometimes we say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making us fast and it's hot. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making us read all these namaz throughout the day to work. But if you look at it, what is the reality of these things? You are simply having a discussion with Allah. You're simply talking. We have the time in the world to talk on the phone to our friends. We have the time in the world to talk, in work, to our colleagues, to our friends at school. Dua and munajat. These are simple conversations with Allah. If you want to trust someone, have tawakkul in someone. If you want to love someone, you've got to know them first. You've got to speak to them first. You've got to see if we match, How we see if we have the same favorite things, or if we look at the same movies, or if we have the same interests, you start to like that person. You know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's interests are? His interest is His creation. What they want, what's in their heart. His interest is in you, your interest should be in Him. There's another dua, famous. Now we see the difference here between dua and munajat. Dua is that direct dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Munajat is those whispered prayers that you do in the silent room, you alone. Say for Sujati, I mentioned in early Mondays, one of my ustads in Mosa, they said, pick up this book whenever you're going through anything and just read one of the munajats. From Syed, it's around 15. There's one for different things, for Masumi, for Muslims, for those who are, broken hearted, for those who are seeking something. Many munajats. And if you sit and actually read them, it's like if, when you have a best friend and you want to tell him a secret, you're going to make sure you don't tell him. This is the secret with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah, this is what's in my heart, I'm only telling you, don't tell anyone. Keep it with you. It's the difference between dua and munajat. The munajat of Imam Ali alayhi wasallam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
There's a constant repetition when we look into this munajat. It says, Mawla ya Mawla, Anta al-Malik wa ana al-Mamluk. Mawla ya Mawla, Anta al-Aziz wa ana al-Dalil. Mawla ya Mawla, Anta al-Khaliq wa ana al-Makhluq. Can you see the pattern? First it's saying, Oh Allah, Oh my Lord, you are above me and I am this. You are the Khaliq, I am the Makhluk. And simply in this munajat, that's the only lines. There's 3 lines at the start which are different, but the rest are repeating like this, Mawla ya Mawla, you are this and I am this. It's just acknowledging that He is above you and we are always going to be underneath Him. It's the most beautiful munajat. And this is from Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salatu wasalam. Amir al-Mu'minin used to say this munajat. Used to use this munajat. If you go, for example, to Masjid Kufa now, and you have one of those poor guys that walks around with you when you're doing your namaz, once all the prayers are done, what does he do? He sits you down and he reads munajat in and he's reminding you and telling you, look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always there, but we will always be there. And we're happy with that. Amir al-Mu'minin is happy with that, then we can be happy with that. Allah Jalla is happy with that, we can be happy with that. If you look deeply into the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, and surely we are the followers of the Ahlul Bayt, we understand that their life goes through so many tragedies. But we would think, wouldn't we, that this Ahlul Bayt, the family of the Prophet, would be the most loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wouldn't it? Then that question arises, and why the tragedy? Why did they have to go through all these calamities? Why did they have to see all these things? But then we remember the famous line of the Zainab Sallallahu that I saw nothing but beauty. When she saw the tragedies of Karbala, I saw nothing but beauty. Do you know why He puts them through calamities? It's because when they read these munajat, when they direct themselves to Him, He sees that they acknowledge Him, they believe in Him, and indeed that no matter whatever I put them through, they're going to have tawakkul and they're going to follow in what I have put them. And then they know, indeed, when they leave this world, they will have everything they wish for. When they leave this world, then they won't need to see any more calamities. Especially if you see, for example, when Lady Fatima, she left this world. Amir al-Mu'minin, you can see that he became a bit worried. He was like, now that Fatima al-Zahra is gone, there's no one that I can have to talk to, there's no one that I can feel peace with. But then he turns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah, I know you've protected her and kept her safe. You've taken her to her father, and inshallah you will also take me to that same place. So I trust you. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells me this. When I leave this world, do you think that my sons will have the same thing? Do you think they will follow? And indeed, you can tell. Whenever it came to the time of Imam Hassan, and he was laying on the bed, part of his body was coming out of him, but he still had that hope. I'm going to Allah. I'm going to a better place. I'm not worried about leaving here. I'm not worried about leaving Medina. Because I know that through the line of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and through the guidance of Amir al-Mu'minin, I have secured enough that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come. This whole topic of tawakkul, when I was first reading about it, when I was researching what to recite in the Majlis, I saw so many ahadith, so many books. But I thought to myself, how can I put this in the easiest form? And then you realize that it's as simple as, if you want to achieve something in life, you go to the place where it's possible. For example, if you want to achieve an education, you will go to school. If you want to achieve, success in your driving lessons or something, you'll go to a driving instructor school. If you want to achieve ilm, for example, you'll come to the Imam Barak and you'll go to the house and madrasa. If you want to achieve Jannah, then you go to the market of Jannah. You go to the protectors of the gate of Jannah. And you tell them, look, this is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to get out from this. Can you help me? Can you guide me? So inshallah, whenever you leave these majalises, whenever you go from this topic, and if I have the tawfiq, inshallah, to recite again, I will continue because there's a lot more content. But like I said before, I can read it here, but please go home and read it yourself too. Understand this topic deeply and hold on to it. But there's one final message from these majalises that I would like to give, that no matter what anyone will say to you, no matter what anyone will promise you or anyone will say to you, all of those advices and those promises have a limit. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Holy Prophet of Islam and the Abbas are limitless, timeless. They have no boundaries. They will be with you here and in the world after. Like we say in Arabic, the dunya wal akhirah. That's what's important. Find in this world where it's limitless, find what will never end, and hold on to that. And inshallah, when you're raised up there, you'll realize, okay, maybe I wasn't as happy in the world, but I'm above those people who were happy in the world. I'm in a secure place. I'm safe, and I know nothing will happen. Today, on the 4th of Muharram, yesterday we talked about one of the companions of Imam Syed But today we want to talk about that companion that not only was a companion of Imam Hussein, he was a companion of the Holy Prophet of Islam, a companion of Imam and the companion of Hussein. Janabi Habib, when we look at his arrival into Karbala, and we look at his stance with Abba Hussein, we see in traditions that Bibi Zainab Salamullahi alayha, she sees the enemies of Allah and Ahlul Bayt coming into Karbala. We see them coming in thousands, and we see them preparing, we see them surrounding the rivers. She turns to her brother and says, "Oh brother Hussein, look at all these people coming to attack us. Look at these people who are going to be against us. Oh brother, where are our people? Where are the people who are going to stand with us? Where are those people who will protect us and who will fight for us?" Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam says to Sister Zainab, "Oh Zainab, our people are still coming, none of them are here yet." He writes a letter to Habib and sends it off. He says to Habib, "Oh Habib, we've entered Karbala. I brought my women, I brought my children. Oh Habib, I know we will not leave Karbala alive. I know this is the place that we will be killed, we will be martyred. But Habib, I want you with me like you were with my grandfather. I want you by my side like you were with my father, Amir al-Mu'mineen. Habib, come and support me." The wife of Habib asked Habib, "Oh Habib, what has the Imam written to you?" Habib says, "Oh my wife, the Imam is calling me to Karbala." Habib, for a moment, he stands and he thinks. The wife then asks, "Oh Habib, why are you thinking? Our Aka, our master is calling you. Why are you thinking about this? You need to go." She then says, "Oh Habib, if you won't go, then give me the permission. I will take your sword and I will go and protect our Aka. I will go and protect the sisters and the daughters of Abba Abdullah. I will go in your place. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, Allah, we praise you. May Allah accept our adari, may Allah accept these tears, accept this Quran, accept this Zakir, accept all our efforts in these 10 days. Ya Allah, those who iman, we pray with the Rasila of Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi wassalatu wassalam, grant them shifa. Ya Allah, bless our marhum with the great stages with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, protect our women, protect our children with the wasila of the women and children in Karbala. Ya Allah, we ask you to grant the reappearance of the Imam all the time, and that we can be with him under his shadow.